Welcome everybody back. Just want to quickly share out some of our sponsors in my team's jersey. Good Speed Racing. We're sponsored by Tech Molino, Drippy's Coffee, Bordertown Bikes, Liquid Vita, and Southwest Elixirs. Bordertown Bikes is based out of Laredo, nice bike shop. We're here at the Alkek Velodrome for some of the state championships. I managed to get myself in the Elite Keirin quarterfinal. Elite Keirin, I am not elite, so I'm probably gonna die. So if you don't know anything about a Keirin, on a road racer crit standpoint, which is where I kind of come from, there will be around 6 guys in one race, and everyone kind of draws popsicle sticks or a little ball in a bag, and your number is where you start your position. So I started off in position number 2, which is actually a pretty decent position. A motorbike will come out on the other side of the track and tell everyone to go. Everyone kind of lines up where they need to, and the motorbike will bring you up to a certain speed. And after 2 laps, the bike will come out of the track, and it's just 2 laps of pure gut-wrenching sprinting racing. So here, I'm still kind of learning the rules. I'm glad I can stick my wheel and my position, because I think before I was very sketched out of the bank curve, so I would want to fall to the back or go to the back because I wasn't ready to keep fighting for position for riders getting close to me. So you can kind of move out of your position. This rider was clearly in 5th or 6th position, so they're just trying to get up there because number 1 is Iman, very strong sprinter. He's a monster. Very impressed, and I was actually pretty excited to actually race on the same track as him, because usually I'm in the 3/4s, he's in the 1, 2, 3, if you want to call it that. So here they started a little early. My kick just wasn't feeling as great today. I kind of had a distance to myself, but here he goes with a second kick. I'm trying to pick it up as much as I can because it's going fast. On the right of me right now, John's gonna come out of nowhere, take 3rd, and I'm kind of just stuck here in 4th position trying to go as quick as I can. But yeah, so this Keirin kind of didn't matter. It was more of a seeding for the next one, which did matter. So this was a good practice, but coming into this race, my allergies were killing me. In Austin, it was just raining, then humidity, then getting into my truck, and it's air conditioned. It was awful. So I came into this race, and man, I could not breathe. I was feeling super tired. So I was just gonna see how this whole weekend went. So now we're into the scratch race. I was a little nervous for this one. I did not know that I was gonna be right after the first Keirin, so I was stuck in my Keirin gearing. If you know much about cycling, of course, if you do, you don't need to know this. But if you're a roadie, you literally have 1 gear on your bike. It's a fixed bike, and then 1 cog in the back. So depending on the cog and the chainring you have, it's a ratio. Usually for a mass start race, you want to be in the 80s, 90s, depending how much you want to spin. But I was well over the hundreds in this one because I could not have enough time to stop my Keirin, because by the time I was dying and trying to recover and spin so my legs won't just collapse, I did not change my chain ring, so I was stuck in my Keirin gearing. So this whole race was kind of botched from the start. The scratch race on a roadie standpoint is basically, I don't know if people call it this, but I call it a road race on the track. So it's just a set number of laps. People will be taking turns. They will be doing tactics, not wanting to pull, and you're kind of just trying your best to get to the front, and when the race is done, sprint for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever it is. So cool thing about Alkek and our special guy who leads it, Stuart, he made these races where they're all individual instead of like one giant omnium, so it helps people get points, which is awesome, because it's a little hard to just be putting races casually left and right for USAC points. So this was my chance to actually get to Cat 3 since I'm at Cat 4 right now. Yeah, so here we're kind of in the mix. I should be getting a little closer if I'm being honest. But man, I kid you not, I was still feeling the first sprint. So we kind of just kept going with the race, seeing how everything was going to play along. Here people make sure they don't want to go to the front because they don't want to pull. Uh, Wind was a little factor today. I love the Houston Velodrome. It's like a very beautiful view with the trees, and just because it's so banked, you're kind of like in a weird bowl, I guess. You just can't see outside. You just see the trees. There's a little park in this area, so it's just such a great view. But yeah, so here I get dragged into the front. I make sure to only do like half a turn, and at this point, I started to get cooked, and you can use the banks to kind of pick yourself up to speed. So I was trying to jump back on the wheel. It was going okay, but yeah, I definitely was feeling it. A lot of these guys did not want to pull off. Pull in front, so they were just pulling off religiously. Here is when I started to feel it, and one of the Cheney's guys decided to close the gap because he was like, all right, this little kid is not gonna close his gap, so I gotta close it and not lose my race. I think he either won eventually or got second. Yeah, but for me, I think it was after this lap or so, I think that's when I was really starting to feel it, and I ended up getting dropped, which is never fun. It was a little, at that point, maybe a little demoralizing. But, you know, I mean, you still get to get the experience, learn, and like the last few times I've been on the track, I've definitely been learning about gearing itself, because you have to be comfortable with your gearing, your legs has to feel the gearing, you have to understand the gearing. So yeah, that it's just been a big learning experience for me, because I started track maybe 2 years ago, but I just got trained at this velodrome. I was just practicing, doing little races here and there, but never too much, honestly. So yeah, that's just how it goes. So here, these two teammates decide to attack. I knew they were because I saw them at the top of me. Sorry that this GoPro footage is only in the front. I only have one GoPro, and Stuart let me put it in the front because you're not really supposed to have too much on your bike on a velodrome, so you won't distract yourself. Surprisingly, track cycling is a lot safer than road and crit racing, which is encouraging, because the last thing I want is to crash, because there's no way I'm close to professional. I'm not even given a bike, so I'm not going to sacrifice my body just for racing. But yeah, so at this point, these guys are back here. Those guys attacked. I'm trying to push as much as I can, and I can't. Like, all my eggs just came out of the basket. This gearing was hurting bad. Anything I would do, I was just struggling. But yeah, so not a very fun race for me. It's a good experience. I kind of just held my position because I think I ended up 5th in this one, 5th or 6th. But yeah, I just kind of let it play out. I'm not gonna let you guys watch the whole video because it's just a waste of time to make you watch this. But yeah, so very painful. It's like you're in a crit and you just got dropped after the first 10 minutes. Anyway, so here's the Elite Keirin semi-final. So here, the top 3 riders would advance to the major final, and the bottom 3 would go to a minor final. So you're not done racing yet. You still have another one, even if you lose. But yeah, so I got the ball this time. I mean, this time it was popsicle sticks. 3rd position. So yeah, 3rd position wasn't too bad. I was kind of just in the mix where I could and see where I could last. And yeah, I think the next race will show, so I'll kind of just stop talking, let you all watch the footage. But I just like talking about the Keirins because there's a lot that can go on here. It's never just being in your position, because one of the last Keirins I did, I think I was 5th or 6th position, and the guy in 5th stopped pushing. So by the time everyone attacked, I was extremely far back. So going into that first video that we saw, which is why he went up to 2nd position without next to me. As much as he was getting a little bit more wind, that means he was ready to still start. And I mean, he got 2nd place in the last Keirin. So here, 2nd rider is rushing up next to 1st. Maybe he doesn't have to do that, just because, I mean, he's in 2nd position. He's in a fantastic position if anyone starts anything, especially our Atomics team in the front. Very great track team. Lots of fantastic riders that come out to Houston. So yeah, so he slots kind of back into two. Two riders come up to me on the right. They're ready to go. Yeah, these guys are very strong. So yeah, he kind of laid off. I kind of got stuck, and I should have just started before. But like I said, these allergies would not let me kick. As much as I would try to kick, because usually I have some sort of kick, I was just struggling. So yeah, I was a little frustrated because I really wanted to make the major final. But you know, it happens. It's all learning experience. You kind of, at least now I'm recording these videos so I can see where I did wrong, but it's nice. Yeah, so here I was a little frustrated. I was guaranteed 5th, and we got into the minor final. Minor final is still not even easier. It's just, you know, guys that didn't sprint to make the major final. But I mean, it's still, every Keirin you do is still crazy fast. So yeah, we're here. I managed to get 3rd position on the sticks. I actually picked out some pretty decent positions this time because, like I said, the last time I did a Keirin, I was in the back, and that's what screwed me up. So yeah, the motorbike guy, fantastic man. He was really cool. Everyone has really good vibes here in Houston. If you ever get the chance to check out the Velodrome, just email them. Stuart has like training days where you can get certified to do the Velodrome, and if you get certified at one Velodrome, you're actually certified at every Velodrome in the nation usually, because it's all under USA Cycling, so they kind of have a set rules. It's not like road and crit racing where if you were a Zwift racer and you never raced in your life, you're gonna probably like cause someone to crash. So here it's all kind of the same rules. You get out the Velodrome in a certain spot if you have to. Everything's fixed, no break. So like, as much as that sounds scary, everyone's kind of on the exact same rig, so you just have to be careful to a minimum. It's not like road or crit where you look back and then all of a sudden you just swerved into a curb or something. But anyway, so the bike peers off. Early attack from rider number 1. I think he just wanted to pick up the pace a lot, and that was fine. Rider number 2, Seth, very great endurance rider. Here's Austin coming right on the side of me from the Atomics team. These guys can just sprint, man. So here I'm fighting for 3rd or 4th, whatever I can. The other rider was still behind me. I mean, I know I was already in the minor final, so I could have just stopped, but I was like, you know what, let me just push. So the minor final, we're fighting for 6th through 10th place. So here I come around Seth, trying to. This guy is fast, man. I finally come around him through the line. So I think I ended up probably 6th, 7th, 8th. Yeah, 8th in the end, which I guess I can't be too upset about. For sure tired by then. But yeah, I think at this point I just could not stand. I was just struggling. Now we have the elimination race. I learned a lot from a YouTube video. I'll probably attach it to the video on like the description. Yeah, on the description. Elimination race premise is as many riders are on the track, it's probably going to be as many laps as it will be. So in this case, I think we had 6-7 riders. Because people can sign up for the races, but if they're tired from previous races, they just don't have to join. Yeah, so we had around 6 riders, and once they ring the bell, because you have a neutral lap, the bell indicates that it's a lap to get out riders. So the rider at the end, like the last rider that crosses the line, is going to be eliminated. So you literally just keep going till it's time. So if you watch any of the pros, like at UCI, those guys are hammering it. They are pushing it, and then you have 20-30 riders, so you have to be in a good position. So usually on the inside, the front is good. Here I was already starting to struggle because, like I said, I've been sick this whole weekend, but I was like, man, you know what? I need to get at least one podium, and this is one of the races that I actually like. Because all the other endurance ones, they just hurt. I need to do some sort of training or something just to keep up, because some of these guys have a lot more endurance than me. Like up in front, Christopher and Logan, really good endurance, so I can't compare to that sometimes. But yeah, here we're getting ready. I think they called the lap already. I was already in the back again, getting already gapped. And I knew, okay, dude, this is you came all the way to Houston. You gotta do something at this point. So I was like, all right, let's just play as smart as I can, and just get out there and have fun. Like, don't be stressed. Don't worry about it. So here, I'm coming up to the top. The line's coming up, and I sniped one of the guys. They don't take the rider on the first wheel, which is what people think at the line. They take out a rider based on the rider of the back wheel. So if you get to the front and pass that rider on the line and continue, you still can be in. So that's what sometimes people didn't get. And when I first did elimination, that's how I got out, because I thought it was the front, and I had to be very taught well about how this stuff works. So yeah, here I was able to snipe another rider on the inside. So at this point, 4 riders are left. I'm glad there wasn't a lot of riders, because I felt a lot of pain. But here, I decided to attack. I might have gone a little low. I tried to stay above the blue line and then looked back, so hopefully I didn't cut anyone off. But I just stuck with an attack, because I was like, you know what, 4 riders are left. I want to get a podium. Let me at least get 3rd. So here, the attack went on. Christopher was pushing. He wanted to keep going. And I was like, all right, let me just stick to his wheel. I looked back. 3rd place was trying to get on my wheel. So I was like, all right, Christopher's for sure going to keep the speed. Let me just hang out here, watch out, and then we can sprint for the line. So I kind of knew, okay, maybe I have more of a chance to stay with the top 2 riders. I'm already guaranteed 3rd. And he keeps looking back. I try to do a little sprint. Comes in a little bit. I had to get on the little blue line. I could have stayed on the black line, but maybe I just didn't want to risk it. So yeah, all that's left is me and Christopher, 1 and 2. Very, very good rider. Yeah, so we're competing at this point for 1 and 2. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but yeah. So here we come into the last turn. He keeps looking at me. I decide to just gun for it at the last turn, and I guess I had enough power and speed to take first. So I wasn't even cheering. I was just dying and breathing hard. So this little homer depicts what I was feeling afterwards. But yeah, I was just really excited. This turned out to be state championship, so I ended up winning the state title for the 3-4 elimination race, which might get me the Cat 3 upgrade, so we'll see. So anyway, this is the points race. I'll just explain what the premise is. It'll be maybe like 30-40 laps depending on where you're at, meaning like which velodrome, because they all kind of differ. And every 5 laps, I think it's 4 for juniors, but every 5 laps is points. So the first rider gets roughly like 5 points, next rider 4, 3, 2, 1 as you go. So that's every 5 laps. So it gets tactical, it gets tiring. This race kills me. And the last lap of the race is double points. So 10 for first, and so on, right? So like, let's say you're in the mix for podium and all that, you really can fight for it at that point. So yeah, at this point I was extremely cooked, dying from allergies, dying from the actual win that I got. Cannot believe that happened. This is my first win in the Velodrome, and I got it on GoPro footage. So yeah, I was just kind of in the mix here, and I'll be honest with you, I'm probably gonna shut up and stop talking because I got dropped at the first sprint. So I'll just let this video play out. You all can enjoy the footage of me getting dropped, but hey, if you want to reverse it and look at the elimination again, so be it. But anyway, thank you to the Alkek Velodrome. They've been nothing but supportive and kind to me. It's a very different vibe from road racing, because sometimes you get some snarky people, rude people. They don't want to teach you things. They'll just yell at you to keep your line. Here, they'll keep you in check, though. If you're doing something wrong, they'll tell you, but in the nicest way possible, or most stern way possible, because they need you to learn. And everyone here is eager for you to learn and love the sport just as much as they are. So big thank you to all the riders here for helping me out. Big thank you to our sponsors for the Goodspeed team. Hopefully we get some more teammates out here and we can do some team tactics, and hopefully I can improve my endurance and not get dropped. But anyway, this was my Michael Jordan sick game, if you know that. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this YouTube video, and I'll see you all later.